was the only means of travel between the two.
No, that's wrong! No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Yep.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Hey Nagito, how you doing, bud? This is my second time pointing at you.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Yep. But I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down...
Okay.
Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Yep.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Indeed.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Okay. Displayed.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
You know that existed.
There's no way they didn't know.
We were literally told about
That
it.
is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
And how could you not know? Wire, goodnight button. Wire, goodnight button, tipped over pillar. Pillar fragments, clock's alarm tire, radio clock, broken doorknob. Wires, most logical.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
How?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down! I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood...
Allow me to cut through those words! The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon. And the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
Indeed.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Indeed.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
Okay.
If that's the case,
They obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Yeah, if they went to the Octagon, they had to.
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what do you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
I suppose.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
At the notion that he wouldn't fight.
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
Gundam is a fighter.
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Okay, bud.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
What?
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied.
Are we doing...
Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone
action?
admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Yep. Was it really Gundam?
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither!
Man, I'm so bad at this.
Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire!
What was the fever time? RB.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him? This is the end!
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Your 4 Dark Days of Destruction.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Absolutely.
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams.
He's the ultimate beater, of
In
course.
fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Oh yeah, the cute little hamster pushing the button. Oh, that was so cute. Sunday.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue,
The hamster got
one
the
of
piece of
Gundam's
evidence.
hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Yep. His hamsters are excellently trained as the ultimate beater.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mekamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell.
Did he really do it?
Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere! Now, trample this life! Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road! Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands!
So really Gundam. Still stuck on the fact that he was saying that the things are like parallel and this one should be a suicide theoretically. And I'm also thinking maybe Gundam's covering for Sonya? Because technically Sonya barely has an alibi. Other than the fact that she didn't hear it. Okay, I guess it really is Gundam. Who set the lounge? Who set the lounge's clock alarm? I woke up at, doorknob came out. Vehicle can't sleep. Hamster and murder. Wrap the way around Nekomaru's feet. Who was in the lounge since the early morning? Yukiko. What time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaru? I love that. His button. Nekamaru's feet. I mean, the same picture's up here, so that's probably not it. Killer destroyed wood after leaving the tower. What was the fake weapon left at the tower? The hammer. Who gathered at the lounge? Why did Nekamaru fall? Who heard the rumbling noise? Just the button vehicle. There's a huge hammer. Hamster pressed it. Alarm is set for 5:30 a.m. It's 2:40 right now. I'm messing with the base of the contact elevator. Okay. So I got everything over there. Killer destroyed the rut after leaving the tower. Destroyed the what? This? No. Nekamaru's feet. Time did Fuyuhiko see Nekamaru? Is this it? No. Reset the lounge, clock lounge's alarm. Don't think the wire wrapped around Nekamaru's feet. No. Oh, I guess this one, right? No, it was the button that Strawberry Hall they destroyed, right? Yeah. I'm feeling it dumb right now. Okay, and after this, I've filled everything in, right? Oh, wait. Who gathered at the lounge? I'm feeling like it's this one, but I put it where it made sense already. To me. Like, didn't I put this here? The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? He destroyed the button to Strawberry Hall. Yeah, I did try that there, I just wanted to make sure. Maybe... Did I try this here? No. I already tried that there. Oh, that picture's already there. Darn. Okay. Did that say last stock? I don't remember. I love that little hamster picture. So, does he need to sleep? I've already got all those. Oh no, there's a who was in the lounge over here, right? Yeah.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime.
Never used the
First, they destroyed
chains.
the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand.
Okay.
They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final deadlift. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building.
So, Gundam played Russian roulette.
On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason.
Probably,
There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru.
Gundam. Did he go to the final dead room in between me spending all that free time with
According
him?
to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time.
Yep.
In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that.
Ching, ching,
However,
ching.
because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there.
Yep.
With the power of hamsters,
hamsters.
they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
Made to do evil. Earlier in this trial, he said that freaking there's no hope in murder or whatever.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon.
The tower.
First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up.
The thing is, this ultimate weapon would only work with Nekomaru.
Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge.
Good thing, too.
As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up.
Yep.
He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor.
And pain.
He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already.
Oh, poor Connie.
Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
That'd be a quick class trial.
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
Poor Sonia. She liked Gundam.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Pretty good this time. 168. I don't remember what that was exactly.